I just got back from morning carpool, and carpool is not as much fun as it sounds. On Monday morning, the kids are not in the mood of going back to school after a weekend off, and carpool ends up being the anxious negotiation between one impatient adult and four very reluctant children. And carpool on Monday mornings has all of the ambiance of a warden returning a chain gang back to prison. Now, for people like me who were trained to read big books and think about big ideas, carpool is a chore, an errand, a task, a grind. Or if you want to put it more simply, carpool is a waste of time. It's something you do because otherwise you'd feel guilty about not pulling your weight. But in actuality, that's not what carpool is. Carpool is a form of holy housekeeping. In Parshat Tzav, there is an unusual commandment. We're told that the Kohanim, the priests in the temple, were meant to put on their big day kahuna, put on their priestly garments, and go up on the altar and clean the ashes off the altar. And every commentary finds this to be a baffling commandment. Why does the Torah have to come and command us to take care of housekeeping? Why does the Torah have to come and command us about trivialities? And I think that that's precisely the point of this commandment. The point of this commandment is to tell us that housekeeping is not a triviality, that there is such a thing as holy housekeeping. Now, to yeshiva students who live in an ivory tower, they can't understand this. But for those who live real lives, who have real chores and real errands and real tasks and real carpools to take care of, what holy housekeeping means is that if you clean the altar, if you take the kids to school, and you cook dinner, and you do it all with the right intentions in mind, you have performed the commandment, the mitzvah, of Trumat HaDeshen. You have performed the commandment of holy housekeeping. And as Maimonides teaches us in Hilchot Deot, in his comment on the famous Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, that all of your actions can be for the sake of heaven. Even eating, sleeping, drinking, whatever you do, if you do it in order to further God's cause, it can become a holy action. And the meaning of this particular commandment is that there is such a thing as holy housekeeping. And when you take the kids on carpool, or when you cook, or when you clean the altar, you can be performing this mitzvah. You know, it's interesting, the Talmud at the beginning of the second chapter of Kiddushin talks about rabbis cooking for Shabbat. And the lesson of that passage in the Talmud is again to reinforce this point. There is such a thing as holy housekeeping. You know, very often at funerals, people talk about Bubbie's cooking. They talk about her rugelach, her gefilte fish, her chicken soup. And I know that there's a lot of people who come to me afterwards and they say, why did they say that in the eulogy? I don't like that. Why would you recite a menu at a funeral? But I don't agree. I think they're missing the point. When we talk about Bubbie's chicken soup, we're not talking about 3 quarts of water and 2 onions and a chicken cut to eighths, simmered to perfection. We are talking about a symbol of Bubbie's nurturing for her family, a symbol of Bubbie's providing for her family, a symbol of Bubbie's love for her family. When we talk about chicken soup at funerals, we are talking about holy housekeeping. And the lesson of this particular commandment is that there is indeed such a thing as holy housekeeping, and it is a serious mitzvah as well. We need to provide for our families, we need to clean the altar, we need to cook, and we need to take carpool, no matter how annoying it is, because that is the mitzvah of holy housekeeping.
Thank you.